I'm going to take you through the PMP mindset that you should carry with you into your examination room. So you could be asking, Oscar, why are we talking about these mindset or principles? I can tell you, the moment you master these principles and the mindset, you are going to be able to eliminate approximately 80% of the answers that you are going to get in your exams. So it's quite a very important process or activity that you have to take for you to understand this mindset. Even if when it comes to scenario questions, these mindsets are going to help you a lot. So let's move on. So mindset number 21, use retrospectives and lessons learned continuously. This is very important. After every iteration or every phase or stage, make sure that you update your lessons learned. So what does it mean? Lessons are not only project closures. Agile retrospectives and ongoing lessons, they also help teams improve throughout the project. So you should always be recording this because it helps you to improve throughout the project. So number 21 practice question. For each sprint, so this is Agile, for each sprint, the team repeats the same handoff problem between development and testing. What should the project manager encourage? So what is our problem statement here? In each sprint, the team is repeating the same handoff problem between development, team, and also testing. So what should the project manager encourage? Remember, we are using retrospectives and lessons learned continuously as a mindset. Wait until the closure to discuss the problem. In a project, never wait as a project manager. That will cause delays, okay? So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Number B, use the retrospective to identify improvements and implement actions, okay? I like this one. Retrospective is there. Stop holding retrospectives. You should always be having retrospectives. This is part of an agile flow. So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Ask one person to decide without team input. In agile environments, team is the best that can decide, not one person. So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Making the best answer for this question to be B. Okay? So the best answer here is B, which is to use retrospective to identify improvements, to implement agreed actions. How do we explain that? Continuous improvement is a core mindset. Retrospectives, they help team inspect, adapt, and also prevent problems, making B the best answer. Mindset number 22, facilitate consensus when possible. So facilitation is very important. Consensus is agreement when possible. So what does it mean? Project managers do not need to detect every decision. They don't need to dictate every decision. When stakeholders disagree, facilitate constructive decision, okay? Facilitate constructive decision and also clarify criteria and also help the group to reach an informed decision. So you're a facilitator when you're a project manager. So let us look at the practice question based on this mindset. Stakeholders disagree on which feature should be included in the next release. What should the project manager do first? So our problem statement is there's a disagreement on a specific feature for the next release. A, choose the feature personally without a discussion. Remember, you're supposed to facilitate, and the project manager is not subject matter expert. So you cannot choose this as your first action. So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Facilitate a prioritization discussion using agreed criteria such as value, risk, and agents. I like this one. There's a word facilitate here. Okay. Include every feature regardless of capacity. Okay. So this is unlikely going to happen. You cannot just include every feature like that. Escalate immediately to CEO. A project manager is employed to resolve project issues, not to escalate, making B the best answer. So B is the best answer. Facilitate prioritization discussion using agreed criteria. Why is it the best? Facilitation helps stakeholders align criteria and also trade-offs, making B the best answer. Okay, mindset number 23. Do not jump into firing, okay? Do not jump into firing or replacing or even blaming any stakeholder in the project. What does it mean? Extreme people actions, okay? Extreme people actions are rarely the first answer. So which means in most cases, whatever is extreme is not normally the answer. Start with understanding, supporting, coaching, and also expectations and root cause before punitive decisions. Okay. So practice question. A team member makes a mistake that causes rework. So this is the problem statement. There is a mistake which is causing rework. The issue appears to be related to unclear instructions. So they are unclear instructions. What should the project manager do first? Okay, this is very important. So the problem statement is there's a mistake that is causing rework from one of the team members and also unclear instructions. What should the project manager do? Number one, remove the team member from the project immediately. Remember, we are not firing, okay, as a mindset or principle. So this is unlikely going to be the answer because of remove the team member. Understand what happened, clarify expectations, and also support corrective action. Good. This looks, it makes sense for me. Report the person to senior management. Never report anyone in a project. So these are likely going to be the answer. Ignore the mistake and hope it does not happen. Never ignore anything in a project environment. Always try to confront problems and resolve them. Making B the best answer. So B is the best answer. Why is it the best answer? Blaming or replacing first is usually weak, okay? The project manager should understand the cause and help correct the problem, making B the best answer. Okay, mindset number 24. Train, coach when performance gaps appear. So this is very important mindset. So what does it mean? When a gap is caused by knowledge, okay, by skill or even by process understanding, the project manager should support capacity development rather than assume bad intent, okay? So practice question based on this mindset. A team member consistently enters incomplete, okay? Consistently enters incomplete risk information because they do not understand the required fields. What should the project manager do? So we have a knowledge gap here. They don't understand the required field. A, provide guidance or training on how to complete the risk register. Okay, I like the way provide guidance. Delete the risk register. You don't delete the risk register. You need it throughout the project. Escalate immediately to the sponsor. You don't rush to escalation. A project manager is supposed to resolve project issues, not escalate. Assign all risk updates to another team permanently. You are not resolving the problem. The problem is about skills. So you need to resolve the skills, making A the best answer. You're providing guidance and also training. Why A? Training and coaching addresses capability gaps. So making A the best answer. We are looking now at mindset number 25. Protect the team from unnecessary disruption. This is very important. Your team should be protected from unnecessary disruptions. They will always face disruptions. But if you want them to meet the project objectives, you need to protect them from those disruptions. So what does it mean? The project manager should shield the team from avoidable distractions or conflicting priorities and uncontrolled work so they can focus on delivering values. This is very, very important. If you have got a team which is working on specific deadlines and tasks, it's best that you protect them from any disruptions. So let us look at the practice question. So practice question number 25. Several stakeholders keep conducting developers directly with agent side requests during the sprint. So there are side requests which are coming from stakeholders. What should the project manager do? Okay. So remember, the team is supposed to be protected from disruptions. And in this case, they're getting side requests, which means they're being distracted from their focus. Okay. So A, allow the side requests because stakeholders are important. This is disrupting the team. So it's unlikely going to be the answer if you allow it to happen. B, work with the product owner and stakeholders to route requests through the backlog and also protect the sprint. I like this one because you are working with the stakeholders to remove the disruptions. Tell the developers to ignore every step. You don't ignore stakeholders. You engage them and try to understand the root causes. So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Cancel the sprint immediately. You don't cancel the sprints because they are side requests. making B the best answer. So B is the best answer in this scenario. Work with the product owner, okay, and stakeholders to route requests through the backlog and also protect the sprint focus. So why is that an answer? The team needs focus and clear intake path. So you don't want your team to be distracted during the sprint or any task being executed, making B the best answer. Mindset number 26. In Agile, involve the product owner for prioritization. This is very important. Don't make a mistake I've seen with other project managers trying to prioritize features in the product backlog. That is the responsibility of the product owner. So what does it mean? Product owner owns backlog ordering and also maximizing value. Remember, Agile is value driven. So maximization of value must come from the product owner, not anyone else. The project manager should not independently reprioritize product work without product owner. So as a mindset, always make sure that the product owner is owning the backlog. And if the product owner is not understanding, it is your responsibility as a project manager to actually educate them to appreciate the benefits of doing that. So practice question 28. A stakeholder 26. A stakeholder asks the project manager to move a new feature to the top of the Agile backlog. Okay, new feature to the top of the Agile backlog. What should the project manager do? Okay, A, move the feature immediately without discussion. So remember, you are not supposed to prioritize any features in the product backlog. So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Involve the product owner to evaluate and prioritize the request. I like this. There's involvement of a product owner. Reject the request because the backlog can never change. Backlog in a agile project environment, they are always changing. So reject is not going to work. Ask the development team to decide business priority case. Development team is responsible for creating deliverables and not for product backlog, making B the best answer. So B is the best answer. Why is it the best answer? Product owner is accountable for prioritization, and then project manager facilitates the process. So making B the best answer. Mindset number 27. In predictive, use change control board. CCB is a change control board for baseline changes. For anything that you want to change, it must be approved by the change control board. So what does it mean? A predictive project is an approved baseline, okay? Changes to scope or schedule or cost should be approved through a change control board, which is CCB. So this is the CCB that I'm talking about, okay? So let us look at the practice question now. A predictive project sponsor asks for a scope addition that will change the approved. So scope addition that will change the approved cost baseline. What should the project manager do? Okay. So the problem statement here is the sponsor is intending to change the scope, okay, and that is going to change also the cost baseline. But our mindset, it says that it has to be approved by the CCB, which is a change control board. So A, implement the change because the sponsor requested it. You cannot just quickly go and implement it. It has to be approved first. So this is unlikely going to be the answer. Prepare and submit a change request to the CCB or approved change authority. I like this one. You are submitting a change request. So there's a change process that is ongoing here. Tell the team to absorb the change without documentation. Documentation must be done throughout the project. So this is a violation of one of those principles. Remove unrelated deliverable without approval. You don't change anything as a project manager without approval, making a B the best answer for this scenario, okay? So why is B the best answer? Even sponsor requests must follow a change control baseline, okay? Because they're going to affect them. So making B the best answer. Right. We are now looking at mindset number 28. Keep benefits and business value viable. Okay, this is very important. If you have this mindset, it's going to help you in your PMP exam. Projects exist to deliver benefits, not just outputs. Okay, check whether the work still supports business value benefits realization, and also organizational objectives. This is very, very important. So this is the mindset that you can also use to eliminate some of the answers. So number 28, if you look at the question now, midway through a project, market conditions change, and one planned feature may no longer deliver expected benefits. What should the project manager do? So remember, the mindset here is to keep benefits and also business value visible. So this is where we are visible. It must be visible, okay? So if you look at this scenario, there is one feature which may no longer be delivering expected benefits to the organization. So this is our problem statement. So let us now go through the answers. A, continue exactly as planned without review. So here you're just ignoring. You're not taking any action as a project manager. So these are likely going to be the answer. Review the business value with the sponsor, product owner, and adjust through the proper process if needed. Okay, I like this. Because you are doing a review of business value. Remember, cancel all project work immediately. As a project manager, you cannot just cancel project work just like that because one of the feature is no longer delivering value. So these are likely going to be the answer. Hide the information until the end of, never hide anything in a project. Transparency and trust is very important. Be honest, ethics. So these are likely going to be the answer, making B the best answer for this scenario. Okay, so B is our answer. Why is B the best in this scenario? The project manager should keep benefits visible and ensure it remains aligned with value, making B the best answer. Mindset number 29, balance people, okay, process, and also business outcomes. What does it mean? Strong PMP answers considers health, process discipline, and also business value together. Over-focusing on one dimension can create a poor project outcome. Say, for example, we are over-focusing more on risks as compared to quality. Most likely, that is going to affect the project. So you should not focus more on one dimension and ignoring the rest. So let us look at the practice questions now. A project is on schedule, but the team is showing signs of burnout, okay? And quality defects are increasing. So this is our problem statement. What should the project manager do? So what is our problem statement here? The team is showing signs of burnout and the quality defects are also increasing, okay, because of the burnout. So remember, you're supposed to balance people. You're supposed to balance people, process, and also business outcomes. So let us go through the answers now. A, celebrate because the schedule is still on track. You're ignoring the problem here. You should resolve the issue to do with the burnout and quality. So these are likely going to be the answer. Assess team capacity, okay? Quality trends, delivery commitments, then adjust the plan accordingly or collaboratively. I like this one. Demand longer hours until the project ends. Never overwork your team members in any project environment. So these are likely going to be the answer. Ignore defects until customer acceptance. Never ignore anything in a project. Always confront everything in a project. Making B the best answer. So the best answer here is B. You need to assess team capacity, quality trends, and also deliver commitments. Then adjust plan accordingly. So why is this the best answer? A good project manager balances schedule, okay, quality, and also people and value. So this is very important mindset. You balance your people, process, and also business outcome, making B the best answer. Now, to the last question or last mindset. Pick the answer a calm ethical PM would do first. So in your PMP examination, make sure that you are picking an answer which shows that the PM is also calm and is also ethical and what they can do first. So how does it help? So or how do you explain this? When two choices seem possible, okay? Choose first action, the calm, professional, ethical. What would the PM do? Understand, collaborate, follow, process, communicate, and also protect value. So this is very, very important when you're when you come across such a question in your PMP exam. So using this mindset, let us go through the specific question now. A project issue creates pressure from senior management and the team is anxious. What is the safest first mindset for the project manager. Okay. So what is our problem statement here? There's a project issue which is creating pressure from senior leaders. What is the safest first mindset for the project manager here? Okay, so let us go through the answers now. React quickly to show agents. Okay? How does it solve the issue of the pressure? It doesn't. So this is unlikely going to resolve the issue. Okay. Blame the person closest to the issues. Don't blame anyone in a project environment. So this is unlikely going to be an answer. Stay calm, assess facts, involve the right people, and follow the appropriately. I like this one. Stay calm and assess facts. Okay. Hide the issue until the solution. Never hide anything in a project. Always be transparent in a project environment. Making C the best answer in this scenario. So you need to stay calm, assess the facts, involve the right people, and follow the appropriate process. So why is C the best answer? The mindset rewards calm, okay, ethical, and also disciplined action. So this takes us to the end of the mindset. We have covered 30 of them in this particular video. And I believe if you apply these 30 mindsets in your PMP exam, you are likely going to eliminate close to 80% of the questions. And I hope you are also going to pass your PMP exam.